Hi, ladies. I'm just waiting for Carly to pop on. Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hi.
Feel like anyone else?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, you mute. I was saying I've never had it ask me for a password.
I know, weird. I don't know why it did it like that. Maybe I clicked on something wrong. I was trying to go back and edit and record it because a couple of my girls can't make it.
Oh,
So maybe it changed it since it's recording. I don't know.
okay, cool. It's recording. Sweet. That makes me feel better. So then I can go back and listen. Awesome. Cool. Let's see who's on. I know a couple more people were planning on getting on, so we can just hang tight for a sec.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hello, Brittany's team and mine.
Hi, Taylor. Taylor joined today.
Yay! Welcome. It's exciting.
I know, right?
Let's see.
And I know it's bedtime here for a lot of people, so people may be hopping in late.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we just got done playing Yahtzee. Like, gosh, it's so intense. I haven't played that in years. I was like, Adam was screaming.
Wait, just you two?
Yes.
Oh,
I
hold
hate
on.
you both.
He was like, yes. I'm like, okay, you would be fine for over celebration. Like, you would be the NFL player that would get kicked off the field because he was
Bye.
quite happy he was winning both times. So we can just kind of just get to going, I guess. Since this is recorded, that's the cool thing. So for my team that doesn't know, Brittany Locker, she's joining in. We kind of reached out to each other this past week and just thought both of our teams were kind of in the same space and place. And so we thought we would get together and kind of go over some of our, I guess we came up with 4 top business tips for you guys and like what we do in our business every day and weekly. So we just wanted to get together and kind of do it as a group, since I feel like most of our team is kind of in the same boat. You guys are all wanting to grow a team. You guys are all really excited to grow a team, and you guys kind of just wanting some coaching on that. So we came up with 4 things. So we're just going to kind of trade off and kind of go over those. I'm going to start with what I think is really important is your customers. And I know this is about recruiting. So I think customers are a big part in our recruits because they are literally the lifeline of our business. So taking care of your customers is really important because they can later translate as your artists. So for me, it starts with a color match. I involve them in every step of that. I used to, and me and Brittany agreed, we both did this. We used to just hurry up, try to make a sale, and just, feed them all through really quickly. And that was really cool. But then, like, when I would go back to follow up with them, I noticed that like I didn't really have a relationship with them. I didn't really have anything to go off of. I was just basically like, hey, how's your makeup? We had nothing to talk about other than that. And I just felt I felt like I was cold messaging a customer that has already purchased from me, and I just didn't feel natural, I guess you'd say. So I kind of changed it up, and I actually started changing it up when one of the other, I think she's a top elite ambassador now. It's Brittany Binky. She did a video on this. So, or maybe it was Chelsea Pearson, one of the two. Basically, they just recommended asking them what their preferences are. whether that be cheek colors, do they wear bronzer normally, what their color is right now, and then just involving them, because they trust you a lot more when you're involving them in that whole process. So, and you know, when you have those kind of conversations, you start to learn more about them. So then after, when you follow up, I always follow up about a month after they purchase. Having those conversations are a lot easier. Me and Brittany both, we send thank you cards to our customers. So I really encourage you guys to utilize what's in your kits, because they come with little postcards, and on the back of them, they talk about the artist opportunity. You can also just use like normal thank you cards, like I have them right here. And I try to send those out like once a month. I try to sit down and do a group of them. I don't do them as people order. And then just doing the little things so they feel loved, I guess, in this situation. They feel like they have a relationship with you. We friend our customers. We like, we comment. We just, you know, do that extra little step. And then adding all of your people that are your customers into your VIP group, making sure that they're seeing you post, whether it be about, you know, your makeup, your eyeshadow, and or the artist opportunity. They're seeing that more than once, because they say it takes what, 5, 7, 8 times for someone to see something, for someone to commit. Like I saw mascara back in May and I didn't commit until October. So that right there is months and months and months. So make sure that you're showing up and you're doing those things, because people are watching whether they let you know they are or not. We do giveaways. I'm not saying that you guys should go out and spend a bunch of your own money, because you don't want to be in the hole with this, but just doing little things that let your customers know that you appreciate their business. And I've told my girls this before. I said that when we do giveaways, I make them very simple, because the more simple they are, you're going to have increased participation. If you make it so far stretched that someone's gonna be like, oh, I don't think I can do that because so-and-so is gonna be better at that than me, that I'm not even gonna try. Well, then you're not gonna have the person that doesn't think they can do it even participate. So you want a mass group of people participating in those things. So, and then from those customers are your hostesses. And I think these fall right in line with loving on your customers. When I have a person who does a really, like, even if they have $100 party, whatever it is, I reach out to them, especially if they had like a ton of interaction, a ton of orders. I reach out to them and be like, hey, you guys, you have an awesome, like, warm market around you. You had a ton of interaction. Have you ever considered the artist program? And I just nonchalantly talk about it. I don't like pressure them. If they ask questions, I'll just keep, you know, asking them questions depending on what they're saying. And then I typically send them the mascara base. If they are interested and they're open to open to learning about it, I send them Mascara Basics. It's by Amanda Ernest. I just send that to them, let them watch it. I give them a day. If they don't, like, usually they come back and talk to you, but if they don't, just like give them a couple days just to sit on that. And then I would follow up with them and be like, hey, just want to make sure you had time to watch that video. What questions do you have for me? And I would always say, what questions do you have for me, rather than do you have any questions, or let me know if you have any questions. Kind of direct them and be like, do you have any questions for me? Or, what questions do you have for me? So let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss anything before I go on to the next one. So when you, like, from building those relationships, when you go back and talk about the artist opportunity, it's so much easier if you kind of know that person a little bit more than just sending them a color match. It doesn't feel so awkward. It doesn't feel so weird. And honestly, I get out what I want to say in the first, like, time I interact with them. I'm just like, hey, this might be random, but I think you would be good at this because if for some reason they don't respond that first time, they at least read what you wanted in that first that first time you interact with them, whether they respond or not, whether they want to do it. So you've planted that seed, like, hey, I'm watching you. I kind of want to talk to you about this, but if you don't want to talk to me, no big deal. But so I always find that's a little bit easier when you have those relationships. And it's okay to walk away from people who aren't showing interest, or they're kind of putting those walls up. It's okay to walk away. Don't keep picking at them and stuff like that, because then you're going to feel like pressury and salesy. Just kind of walk away, let them simmer in it. I did the same thing when I signed up. I asked a bunch of questions. I simmered, and my leader let me kind of simmer in it. She didn't like poke and prod at me. And then eventually I was like, yes, I want to do this. Because a lot of people will come to those conclusions on their own. And they're going to be like putting their walls up, ignoring you if you kind of get salesy on them and start asking them repeatedly about it. So I kind of just walk away, let them simmer in it. And then just continue to post and be present on your pages because they're still seeing your stuff. So I think loving your customers, getting to know them, building that relationship will make those artist conversations a lot more natural feeling and less weird and pushy and salesy. And on our Hello Team Freedom, there's a lot of training on this. Stacy Smart does a training on it, just about customer care and how you can take care of your customers and things that you could be doing. Someone mentioned doing a newsletter because emailing someone is a lot less pressure than Facebook messaging someone. So you can send newsletters out more often than you can send Facebook messages out. So that was like a good thing I kind of learned. And you can make it really genuine. You can make it about them, their interests, stuff like that. So those are just some of my tips in loving on your customers because they truly are going to be the people who turn into your artists a lot of the times. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Unless Brittany, you want to like add anything onto that? Here we can go into the next one.
I, again, keep it really simple. I do giveaways like lip and cheeks or my favorite eyeshadows, and I use my hostess rewards to like buy some of my favorite things or like the perfumes. Like I've had somebody like spend over $900 in makeup, and I've been an artist for 3 months, and I'm like, what is happening? Why don't you want to join? And she doesn't, but it's her birthday. So I'm like, here's a lip and cheek and here's a perfume, like, because now she wants to throw a party. So you just really, I don't know. I think it just goes back to like elementary, like treat people how you want to be treated. They're literally helping you pay your bills. Like I'm supporting my family right now doing this. So I just think go to the dollar store and buy thank you cards and get cute little stamps and say, thank you for supporting my small business. I appreciate you more than you know. If you ever want to host a party, if you're ever interested in the artist program, please reach out. I'm here to help and answer any questions. Like that's legit verbatim what I write in every card. XOXO Brittany. And they know, and most people have my personal cell phone number. Sometimes it's hard to turn it off. But that is the only other thing that I would add is like, you don't have to answer everyone right away. I know it's like super exciting to get the sale and like meet your numbers and hit your goals, but it's okay to just say like, perfect, that's a great photo. I will get back to you by the end of the day. Or that's not a great photo. Can you please send me da 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 da? And I will get back to you by the end of the day. And make a mental note or put a post-it on your fridge, whatever works for you to get back to them by the end of the day. Because I was the same way, like, oh my gosh, you got to get the sale. And then you never put your phone down. And it's like a very quick way to burn out really quickly, like, which kind of, I guess, leads to the next point is like, you have to take care of you and you can't pour from an empty cup. And so a big thing that I learned from something that I did before this was huge personal development, whether it's like working out every day, a podcast, a church online, like whatever you do to fill your cup that makes you feel full, that makes you feel whole, that you get fulfillment out of, that has absolutely zero to do with mascara, that gives you energy to wake up every morning and be excited about mascara, do it and don't put it on the back burner because you need those other things to keep the fire going for mascara. Vanessa's actually on the call and she is my upline, but there have been days where I have FaceTimed her like bawling, like I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. Everyone needs me. I'm being pulled in a million directions. And I'm not going to cry, but this has just happened very fast for me. So it's good sometimes to take a step back and like remember that you cannot pour from an empty cup. My girls have kind of seen me like freak out and this is too much and everybody like needs to do their own thing and I'm taking a break for a day and I love everyone. But you just really like, I used to work out 7 days a week and now sometimes it's like 3, maybe 4. So I have made it a personal goal Two, you have to take care of you. You have to take care of you before you can take care of yourself, before you can take care of a team, a family, whether you have kids or not, a dog or not, a husband or not, a wife, like whatever. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else, or your business is going to go nowhere and you're going to be super frustrated. And I know that everyone says like, oh, text has no tone. Your customers can tell when you're on edge, when you're short, when you've had a bad day, when you're answering like, what's up? Or like, how can I help you? Or yes, I like, everything resonates. And especially now when it's like crazy stress and anxiety in the world, just remember, like, I'll get back to you by the end of the day is like a great way to be like, okay, like pause. Yes, this color match is important. Yes, making money is important, but the more important thing is like you taking care of you. So your business has longevity. So you're here not for 6 months just to make a quick buck and then go away. Like this really can be a career and be career money if you remember that it starts with you.
100%. Yeah, I think that that's all of what she said is super important. And just deciding who you are when you get started with this business. Take time to sit down and decide who you are and the people you want to attract, because that is very important. Those are going to be your core things that you stick to in the longevity of this business. If you don't know what those things are, it's easy to slip off and kind of take breaks from this and not come back. If you don't know what your core values are, what you want to be known as, you are your brand. And so I feel like that is super important to get that established. And it's okay if those things change throughout your course here, but at least starting, you need to at least have a couple that you're like, okay, I know who I am. I'm a nurse. I love food. I like to work out. I love my dogs. Those things I like, and those are the things I attract to. So just knowing what those things are, and those will help you kind of everything that Brittany said. And like she said, podcasts are awesome. I listen to those in the car often. I don't take time to like sit down and just listen to a podcast. Usually it's while I'm doing something else, just to kind of fill that void or make myself feel more productive or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Are you good? I'll go into the next one if you want me to.
Yeah, you're good. And we're going to open this up at the end for anybody that has questions. This is like a timed 40-minute call. So we're like trying to speed through, but we can totally open this up to like a chat at the end.
Okay, so the next one is a big one. And I know I've had it asked a lot from my girls, and we talk about it a lot. And so knowing and understanding your rank. If you're here to build a team, this is super important. If you're not, that's totally fine, no big deal. But if you're here to build a team, it's super important to know your rank and know how to get to the next one. So this is important for when you bring on new artists. It's easy to duplicate what you did to get where you are, and now you'll know how to help the next person get to where they want to be. And it's, me and Brittany talked about this, it's super important to just try to learn one thing at a time. Don't look at the big picture. If you just got started, just kind of know the first couple things to get you going, and then you will learn as you go. They say in one of the last team trainings we did was analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Paralysis analysis. I don't know which way they said, but basically don't sit there and analyze every little thing, because it's going to freeze you and you're not going to be able to keep moving forward. So no one knows what they're doing when they first get started. So just start doing those things. We will teach as we go. We'll learn as you go. And as you start hitting these ranks, you're going to learn a whole lot. So like say you're sitting on Elite Hacker and you want to be top hacker. So you should know that it takes 2 people that are underneath you to be elite hackers for you to get to top, on top of having your active sales for the month. So just being aware of that. And your back office is awesome. We pay for that. It shows you. So if you go to your dashboard in your back office, it will tell you your current rank, and then it will tell you all the little bubbles with the X's and check marks, what you've checked off and how close you are to that next rank. So utilize your back office because it helps a ton. And like, I feel this way, money for me in this business is very motivating. So if I know what my goal is and what I need to do to get there, then that is very just motivating to me. Whether it takes me 6 months, I'm not saying I'm going to do it in 2 weeks. Just to know what that next step is for me is super important. So keeping all those things in mind. And then understanding your commission bracket too will help just kind of understand where you are. If you're wanting to hit a new sales goal, or if you're really close to hitting another sales goal, just understanding that commission bracket will really help. So this past month, I sent my girls, if they were really close to a next commission volume, I sent how close they were. I did the math for them, and I showed them how much money they could make if they hit that next rank. So that, I mean, I feel like most of them really like that, and I told them I would teach them how to do that. I have a video I can send you guys just to kind of break that down. And just knowing the basics will just really help you, one, talk about the artist opportunity, because a lot of times people, they don't want to know about influencer when they're first starting. They just want to know the basics. What do I make off a sale? When do I get paid? And do I have to have any stock at my house? Or do I have to, am I required to purchase stuff to remain active? That's what they want to know in the beginning. So they don't need to know, they don't usually want to know. And if they do, I just send them the compensation plan. I go over it briefly with them, but a lot of times they just want to know the basics to get started. So they just want to know, I earn 20-40%. I let them know that they can earn free makeup by sharing their link. I let them know they get 20% off product. And that's usually enough to get that conversation going. And then once they join your team, then you can kind of walk through Elite Hacker with them, Top Hacker, and so forth. But the biggest thing here is don't focus so much about your rank and how to get to the next one that you just forget the little things, because the little things create big actions for you. So showing up in your business, doing your posts, loving on your customers, sharing with people other things outside of mascara, making sure that you have value to add to people. And that's something that I had to really change about myself. When I started using Instagram, I didn't really use it that much. So when I started posting more often, I had to really work on posting stuff of other value and sharing other parts of my life, because it's really easy if you don't post anything in those platforms to just post the stuff that you're doing currently, which is a lot of mascara. So I had to really like take time and think about what kind of stuff I wanted to be posting. So just remember to do your normal things in your business every single day, and those will start to translate to getting new artists. So
I love it. I love know your rank and know one above you. I love that. Like, I think it's super smart. And when you know your rank inside and out and like where you need to hit, it's super easy to be like, hey, I joined and this is what I spent. This is how much I've made this far. And I've been here for 5 months and I love it. And I've made this much. And like, it's so easy and more fluid of a conversation when you know what you're talking about, instead of being like, I don't know, or let me get back to you, or let me check. So I don't know. I love the like know where you're at, but also know where you want to go. And not everybody has to be Kat Fairchild or an influencer level. Like if that's not your goal, then that's fine. But you should know definitely like where you want to go. So yeah, exactly. I love that, Emily. Yes.
Yeah, so that was a new thing I did, and I got it from Carly Johnson. She's another, she just hit influencer in our company, and she did a video on it, and it was awesome, and it was kind of confusing, a little over the top for me on Excel. I don't know how to work Excel. So I just did the math with the calculator. And so I can send that video, and you guys can kind of do it however you want. If you're really familiar with Excel, it will be super easy for you because it kind of does the math for you. But I think it just helps kind of know, like put in perspective, oh, I can sell 3 more cheeks and whatever, and I can make 20 more bucks. I mean, that seems cool to me, so why not do it? So, and that's just another thing too, when you get artists, like I felt like it was the first time doing it for my girls, but I felt like I was like, okay, I feel like I'm helping them kind of realize where things are. So that might help you when you get an artist kind of be more aware of where they are with sales and kind of help them get to where they want to be if they do. And so the last thing we're going to talk about is just utilizing the resources that are available to us. So the biggest one, other than Hello Team Freedom, which I think is a huge resource we have, is our social media. It's already established for a lot of us. Most of us have a Facebook or Instagram or both. And I think it's super important to just use those platforms as they are. Don't have to recreate the wheel. You already have all the people that know, like, and trust you in those spaces. And so I think it's super important to just stay on that and start adding little tidbits in of mascara, of your life, and then just kind of slowly putting your energy wherever you feel is best for you, and using those spaces that are already established. Like I wouldn't go recreate something new. And then the main one here is Hello Team Freedom. So that has so many trainings on it. For one, a new artist, it goes through all those units of training. And then I think you could probably watch a new training every day for like, I don't know, weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And so that's super cool because it has everything. It has stuff on makeup, skincare, sales, personal development, business. Like there are so many videos. I was just like flipping through it last night even more. And there are so many. For example, like if you guys want more, like a very in-depth video on the compensation plan, Sarah Davies goes through that in our Hello Team Freedom page. And then another one that's really good for if you're wanting to grow your business is The Power of Two. And that's just talking about the power of two people underneath you and how that can trickle down. That's by Katie Powell. So those are two really good videos that I found really helpful when I first started out, just learning how to grow a team and the compensation plan. I am not a business girl, so I needed all the help I can get. And I still sometimes don't even understand it. I'm just like trying to, and I probably looked over the compensation plan a million times because I forget by the time I get to one part, I had to read what I already did. So, and then Mascara Plus Glow Getters is a great resource. There has been so many trainings. They've done like power trainings for the week. Jackie does trainings all the time. So I'm sure that if you hit search and type in whatever you're wondering about, you will find videos on that. So just make sure you guys are using those resources too, because they're super helpful. Let's see here. Mascara HQ is obviously a good one. So my biggest thing with network marketing is the best thing about it to me is duplication is so important in this. So don't try to recreate the wheel with every new person. Duplication is like the powerhouse of like network marketing, because what you did to get to where you are is exactly what the person that you just brought on is going to do the same thing, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So if you get more comfortable just knowing those processes, it's going to be a lot easier to bring on those new artists, and you're going to feel more comfortable having those conversations with people.
I agree. I also love like the don't recreate the wheel. And we kind of talked, Carly, when we chatted, like an old boss of mine, like one of my favorite bosses ever, we would always be super overwhelmed about something. And he always would say like, okay, how do you eat an elephant? And everyone would be like, what? How do you eat an elephant? Like one bite at a time. Like you don't have to know everything about mascara to be successful, to get people underneath of you, to grow your team, to grow your own business, to get a new color match, to do a new video, to use a new product, like one thing at a time, like just one thing at a time. Okay, cross that off the list and move on. One more thing at a time. Okay, cross that off the list and move on. Like, and then eventually you'll know everything, but something is always going to change or be new or another innovative way to do something. So like, I am very type A and very much OCD and very much a perfectionist. So when I don't know something, I'm like, Vanessa, what do I do? Lacey, what do I like? I have no problem being like, help me right now. I need it right now. But I have learned you don't need to know everything right this second, one bite at a time. So like, it's okay if you're growing slowly. It's okay if you're active on the last day of the month. It's okay as long as you are doing one thing a day to grow your business. And as long as you are learning along the way, you are moving in the right direction. We kind of touched base on it in the very beginning. It's really hard to come back after you've taken a break. My advice would be don't take a break. My advice would be you probably need to be active on your Instagram or your Facebook like 4 out of the 7 days a week, if not 5. It doesn't need to be every single day because people have lives, but don't go away. Don't disappear. Like share that you're struggling with COVID-19 stuff. Share that your child's driving you crazy. Share that your fridge is empty. Share what your dinner is. Like it doesn't have to be all about mascara, but just sharing and being super consistent will help you go so far in the long run.
Yeah, I was in a previous MLM and I took a break due to life stuff, and that's totally fine. If that's what you need to do. But then I will be completely honest and say I never got back into it the way I was into it before I took that break. And then I kind of regretted it. So if you're going to do that, just make sure you're really at peace with your decision to do that, because you don't want to feel like you're always just putting your toe in and bringing it back out. If Team building is what you want. Obviously, if you're here to just have fun, do makeup, that's totally fine. We will love you. I will love my team no matter where they're at. I do not care, but I know that a lot of you are wanting to grow your business and wanting to have people on your team. So if you guys have questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, I'm going to unmute everybody. We have like 8.5 minutes left, so we can just do one at a time. Whoever has questions, feel free.
Don't be shy.
What do you do when you throw a party and nobody interacts?
I'll say I've had a believe that kind of happen, and honestly, I'll be in touch with the hostess several times, and if they kind of be like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, and they've tried to interact with their people, and it's just not happening. I just like make sure me and my hostess are on the same page, and if she's okay with like ending the party, I still do the entire party, no matter if people are not responding anyways. I think it's really good, even though no one's responding. It's good growth. It's a good lesson, and I do for the host. So I don't want to put a big flat on her if it's been a day and no one said anything. So it's mostly just kind of just taking the punches as they go for me, at least. I don't know if Brittany has anything different that she'd want to say about
No,
that.
I think even if you have a dead party, you still need to work it like it's $1 million party because it's good practice. You're going to learn something. And even if those people are not ready to buy from you right there, you're going to be the first person in their head when they are ready to buy.
Yeah. 100%.
Makes sense.
Hold on. Sorry. Here we go. Sorry.
What do you do if your beauty group doesn't react or like interact with you at all? Because I'll be like, yeah, let's do this like fun game, and nobody does anything. So like those are my girls in my beauty group, and they don't do anything.
So I would maybe reach out to some of them personally. I don't know if you do this, but you know, I would send thank you cards. I would do those little things to more individual people. Even if it's just side messaging them or telling them happy birthday or commenting, liking, and sharing everything on their page. Like I would just be more apt to do something like that. My beauty group is not always like guns a-blazing either. So there's days that I will post something and no one reacts, and there's days that I do and people react. So I think it just kind of depends. I would just keep still doing your thing, share. Like Brittany said, people are watching you and people are seeing your posts, even if they're not liking or whatever. They're still probably going to buy from you the next time they go to buy makeup and all those things. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, honestly. We can talk more about just how kind of come up with different ways to kind of go about it, Crystal.
Okay.
I don't really have anything for that because my launch party was like 23 people and I kind of grew really quick, and it's actually on my list to have my husband remake my VIP beauty group and like go back in and add all of my customers and like actually create a page and put content, because I have a lot of parties going on all the time and I was very overwhelmed. And so I actually don't have like a current group. But I do the same thing. Like follow my customers, comment, like, love their stuff. A lot of my customers are friends. So they'll text me about random stuff or what do you think about this color or whatever. So I am not help there. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Another little tidbit that might be good to like, I was reading over is, if you want to try to figure out content to put on like your actual Facebook page or in your beauty group, you can sit down and list like literally all the great things about mascara. It could be paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs long. But then I would break these small things up and put little segments, little tidbits on each post instead of doing like one big amazing post about mascara. Kind of feed that information out, whether it be once a week, every 2 weeks, whatever it may be for you, just so that that people are repeatedly seeing something about mascara, but not the same thing and a little different. And then just adding a little bit of value with each post. That's that you have to see things multiple times for people who want to commit to that. So that would be something maybe I would do so you feel less like scammy or salesy towards people. And then the newsletter was a really good idea. I do not personally do that, but if you feel weird about like messaging people, you could create a newsletter for you. You can personalize it to yourself. You can make it all cute and genuine and personal and all those things. And then you can send that to your customers, and you can do different ones like once a month or whatever it may be. So they're opening that email, reading it without pressure, and then they're seeing that. They don't have to respond to you because it's just like a newsletter. It's not like a message where if they open it, you could tell that they saw it. So it's a lot less pressure if you are trying to think of different ways to go about introducing the artist opportunity to people. That might be a good way to do it. Basically just using what you already do to get more like a big outcome. Basically all those little things daily are going to help bring those people in, and people are watching whether you think they are or not. Like most of your, like for me personally, a lot of my artists are customers, but then there's going to be those one random people that you had no idea were watching you, and they didn't want you to know they were watching you, but then they randomly reach out to you because they've watched you for 3 months. You know what I mean? So just stay consistent with that, and I think that will really help in the long run.
I love the newsletter idea, and I actually kind of treat my Instagram kind of like a personal blog. Like I am an open book and do not mind really sharing. I kind of also love that idea as your beauty page. Like you can you can use your beauty page or your VIP group kind of as a blog and just like share what's on your heart, what's on your mind, what's going on in your life, and make that connection with people there so they see like it's way more than just makeup. Like yes, it's makeup, but Carly and I like now are friends because we like reached out to each other. Like I met Vanessa on Instagram and we talk, I drive her crazy. We talk multiple times a day. I FaceTimed every single person on my team today just to say, happy Sunday. How are you? What's going on this week? What parties do you have coming up? Like, how can I help? So I am totally down with like sharing your life, sharing your struggles, sharing your heart, sharing whatever, and kind of just using any social media platform that you have just to kind of make that connection. Obviously, everyone is not an open book, so share what you are comfortable sharing, but everybody like really loves connecting with other people. And for me, it's worked really well. We have 1 minute left, by the way.
Any more questions? Basically just doing it. Go for it. Reach out to those people. If you have someone who's bought from you a couple times, use that opportunity to reach out to them about hey, I've seen that you purchased makeup again. Ask them how they're liking it. And then you can bring up the artist opportunity. So I go through and I look at those people who are purchasing multiple times, because those are the people that you might want to introduce and let them know about it. Even let them know that there's a 20 to 40% discount if they share their link. Just making sure, don't assume everyone knows already. So, and I think that's what I struggled with too, is just, it's awkward to reach out to someone if you don't know what to say. And then, so I think if you just do it and get it out there and say, I know this is random. I know this isn't, what you expected, just calling it what it is and getting the elephant out of the room really helps that conversation. Because I know when I've been messaged from another MLM or another whatever,